I want to talk with Aaron Gabrielson. Aaron is the two-time chairman of the Wasatch County Republican Party, and he describes himself as a bit of a new guy. So we thought we'd take a few minutes and let you get to know him, and he joined us right now on our Newsmaker line. Aaron, how are you, and welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Rod. Thanks for having me.
Aaron, why interest in being the chairman of the Republican Party on a statewide basis?
I believe in the principles of our party. I'm worried about my kids' future. I got 6 children. I just adopted a baby boy this week, so
congratulations to you.
That number right.
Congratulations to you.
And I think those principles work. We can see them at work here in our state of Utah, and I've really enjoyed seeing what can happen in our county party here in Wasatch County as we combine the different voices of our party and unite them, give them a common vision, give them some leadership and a direction. And it is just amazing what you can do when you get everybody going in the same direction. It has been a blast.
Aaron, I want to get to the Caucus convention issue here in a minute, but what do you see as the huge challenges facing the Republican Party here in the state of Utah?
Well, I think the caucus is a big one. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I think getting our message out to people, a positive message, is really important. We have been tagged as the party of no, and I think we need to be the party of yes. Yes, you'll get a job someday. Yes, you'll be able to start a business someday, start a family someday. And I think we need to re-message ourselves, reach out to young people, minorities. I would love to sort of get our different parts of our party together and get us going in the same direction, just like I've done here in Wasatch County.
I'm glad you brought up the different parts of the party and trying to get them together. The Republican Party, very dominant right now in the state of Utah, but you have division within the party. There are moderates who, on a number of issues, and then there are those who are more of a conservative bent who feel the party needs to go in a different direction. You have to walk the thin line between those two and try and bring them together. How do you do that?
Well, I think the way I would do it as chair is I would take these different groups, I'd put them on committees and make them work together, and they'll find out they're really not that far apart. I mean, there is way more common ground within our party. I would love to reach out to, there's a lot of independents and even Democrats that don't realize that, having an efficient, responsible government is something everybody wants. So I think you look for common ground. I love the principle of the third alternative, which means that you have 2 different groups, and they each want something different. And together, you look for common ground. You find that third solution that's better than either thought of it before. So I really believe that down to my bones, that working with people, you can find better solutions together.
How do you define, or how do you view the role of a state party chairman? What are some of their primary responsibilities?
State party chair, the blocking and tackling of that role is raising money to fund the party. That's a very important part of the role. And then running, supporting the candidates individually. Every Republican candidate deserves 3 things. They deserve cash, they deserve an army of volunteers, and they deserve a great data set of information. And up in Wasatch County, every candidate gets those 3, more than they can handle. And we have not lost a single race in Wasatch County. 100% perfect track record. There isn't a Democrat elected here from dog catcher to governor, and so I figure I'm out of Democrats. I better go find a new job. I need a new challenge.
Well, let me ask you this, Aaron. You bring up the social media, which is becoming more and more important in the political world anymore. What more could you do, or how do you see using social media, using the digital age to strengthen the party?
Yeah, I love social media. It is an extremely effective tool for organizing. I've got, 1,500 people on my Facebook page. I've got a good page up here in my county and my Twitter feed. And, I think we just continue to use those tools. Maybe it won't be Facebook next year. Maybe it's Instagram or some of the other ones, YouTube channels. But it's not just social media is just a tool, I think, Rod. It's what are you putting over that channel? What ideas are you communicating? And so I think getting the message right is important. Yeah, fine, use those tools, but let's get that message right and send it down that channel.
All right, now let's talk about the caucus convention and the nominating process. Where do you stand on it? Do you think changes need to be made? Would you like to leave it alone? Where are you on this issue?
Well, I definitely think we need to make some changes to make the caucus run better, make it friendlier, make it open. The first thing I get rid of is that stupid name. The caucus sounds like something you go to the doctor to get removed, honestly. I mean, nobody knows what that word even means. I like the word neighborhood election. I want to make check-in easy and quick. I want to make those meetings inspiring. I want to spend time talking about our principles and our values in those meetings. A lot of times those meetings are just a drag. I really want to completely rebrand and revamp those caucus meetings and make them just a great experience that everybody wants to attend.
Mm-hmm. And how do you do that?
Well, I think you make it much more friendly. You don't get into a lot of rules there. You make it more of a time for people to reconnect to the principles of our country, and you speed up the voting process. You make it less divisive and more of a unifying experience, and I think there's ways to do that. It hasn't been the focus of the party. It's been more about just getting people in the door. I'm worried about what kind of experience do they have when they're there.
Now, are you in favor of changing the maybe up to 70% coming out of convention?
I think that people need to realize there's some groups that want to change and ultimately maybe even destroy this caucus system we have, and I'm very concerned about that. We really have a responsible government here in our state. We have a solid governor, low unemployment. We've got, we're ranked number 1 across the charts as far as performance of government. And why you'd want to come in and change a system that's delivered such good results, I cannot understand. Why are people messing with something that works so well? Mm-hmm. So I like the system and the percentages where they are. If I'm put in a position where I have to change that in order to save it, I will, but I'm going to look for every other possibility in changing that.
Now, the group called Count My Vote, of course, led by former Governor Mike Leavitt, is working on a citizen initiative petition which would offer an alternate route to be able to get on the ballot. Would you try and talk them out of that?
I definitely would. I'd really try to understand their position. And their position is they want more participation from more mainstream Republicans, and what they're talking about is a direct primary. So we'd be like every other state, and the person with the biggest bank account would win that election. So I don't call it Count My Vote. I call it Can't Buy My Vote, which is what, ultimately it would turn out to be. People would just, whoever has the best sound bites on TV would win those elections, because that's how you win statewide elections, is running $1 million of TV ads. And I think the media, newspaper, TVs, and KNRS might have some more fun with that, with having Republicans bash each other in public with millions of dollars. But I don't know that we need more primaries. 60% of all contested races already go to primary. Raising it to 70, I think the numbers say it would be about 10% more be a primary. So I don't really understand why these guys. I question their motives maybe a little bit on what they're really trying to accomplish, because we've got a great state. What are they trying to change?
Yeah. All right, Aaron, final shot. You've got a message to the delegates. They're going to be showing up on May 18th. What is your message, and why should they vote for you instead of the 2 other candidates?
Well, the reason why is because our current chairman, Thomas Wright, has really done a great job in providing leadership and vision. And I think the next chairman needs to pick up right where he left off, and that means uniting the many voices in the party. I have great friends across the spectrum. Nobody can put me into any group. I got Tea Party friends, social conservatives, moderates. I have something in common with all of them. I listen. I'm reasonable. I want to set that common vision for the party, just like Thomas Wright did, and move forward, but also put the principles and values of our party a little more front and center, because we have got to pass these values on to the next generation. So we can't just worry about today's elections. We've got to look at the soil and the roots of our party, and that's where the soul of our party is in our principles and our values. And I really want to strengthen that across the board.
All right. Well, Aaron, good luck on May 18th, and thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, Rod.
All right, that's Aaron Gabrielson. He is chairman of the Wasatch County Republican Party and also thrown his hat into the ring to become the state chairman of the GOP. Coming up next.